Okay, we're going to do a little exercise here with visualization. What I want you to do is I want you to, gentlemen against the wall, you need to step forward because you're going to have to point behind you. So step forward just a little bit. There you go. All right, so what I want you to do is I want you to stand with your feet shoulders width apart, okay? Keep your feet exactly where they are. You're not going to move your feet at all, all right? I want you to point out in front of you with your right hand, and I want you to look out the end of your right finger as you're pointing out in front of you, okay? Now, with your body only, not with your feet, with your body only, I want you to turn around to the right. Turn around to the right as far as you can possibly turn. Stretch as far as you can possibly stretch. Turn, 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 turn. Look at where you're looking at on the wall. Okay, now turn back around and put your hand down. Now, I want you to do the exact same thing, but you're not going to move your body. We're just going to visualize it, okay? So keep your hands right here at your side, and I want you to close your eyes for just a moment, and I want you to visualize with me. So I want you to imagine, only imagine, that your right hand is pointing out in front of you. As it points out in front of you, feel the weight of your arm as it hangs there. Look out the end of your finger and see what you see out the end of your finger. Now I want you to imagine that you turn around to the right. Your body's turning. Feel your body twisting as you turn around to the right as far as you can turn. You get to that point where you saw on the wall before. Now I want you to imagine that you can go even further this time. You can go another 4 inches, maybe another 6 inches. You can go even further. Twist, twist, twist. Feel how your body would feel as your body's twisted like that. Now imagine that you come back around, bringing your right arm back around in front of you. And it's hanging out there in front of you, pointing out in front. Feel the weight of it. And then you lower your arm. Everybody open your eyes, please. All right, we're going to do it again for real this time. Everybody point out in front of you. Okay. Turn around to the right as far as you can possibly turn. Turn, 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 turn. All right, turn back around. And put your hand down. How many of you went further the second time than the first? Almost all of you. Not everybody. All right, have a seat, please. A couple things about the way in which visualization works. Visualization works because your mind cannot tell the difference between something vividly imagined and an actual event. So if you can vividly imagine something, your mind can't tell the difference between that and something that actually occurred. Have you ever convinced yourself that something happened but it didn't really happen? But you kind of worked it up in your mind and convinced yourself that it actually did? It's only happened to me maybe once in my lifetime, but it does happen ever so often. And here's the other half of why visualization works, is that you cannot do what your mind doesn't believe is possible for you to do. So whether you think you can or you think you can't, either way you're right. If you think you can do something, you can. You think you can't do something, you're right, you can't do it because your mind will kind of shut down. So what visualization does is it takes that positive programming, it puts it into your mind, it sort of tricks your mind into thinking that you can do something, and then when you go to actually do it, your subconscious just kind of kicks in, and it just goes off and it does it because your mind, you've already told your mind, you've programmed yourself that you can do it. So obviously you can. Raise your hand if you played sports in high school or if you currently play sports. Lots of you, wow. Keep your hand up if you practiced visualization when you played sports. Fewer of you. Okay, now keep your hand up again if it worked. Nobody who had their hand up put their hand down. Visualization works. It is used by professionals all the time. It is used by athletes. It is used by public speakers. Anybody who wants to perform in a certain manner and who wants to do that very well will practice visualization. It is very effective. And I am here to tell you that there is not a single thing that I can teach you this semester that will have more of an impact on your ability to speak in public and to speak the way you want to speak than if I can teach you to visualize. And you might think, really? Seriously? Seriously. And I've witnessed it myself. In my personal experience, I have visualized and seen what it does to my speeches, and I have also taught my students. And I've heard from them what it does for them. okay? So this is what I want you to do. The next time before you're going to come in and give your speeches, I want you to find a quiet place, a quiet spot the night before, and you don't have to close the door or anything, just a quiet place, and I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to imagine yourself in your seat in the classroom, okay? Imagine yourself in your seat. Imagine you get up from your seat and you walk up to the front. Sometimes people worry that they're going to trip as they walk to the front of the room. So imagine that you get up to the front of the room without falling on your face. And then I want you to imagine you go through the entire speech, word for word, exactly the way you want to say it. Imagine it going exactly the way you would choose for it to go if you got to pick. So I would imagine speaking with lots of enthusiasm. I would imagine the audience responding well. See as much as you can see, because the greater number of senses that you use when you're visualizing, the more effective it is. So if you noticed when we did our visualization, I asked you to imagine the weight of your hand as your arm hung out in front of you. And as we twisted, I asked you to imagine the twisting sensation in your body. If you can, and I asked you to see what you would see, remember? If you can see what you will see, and if you can feel what you will feel when you're speaking, it has more of an impact. It's more vivid for your mind in the programming of it. So see what you're going to see in your audience. Imagine them responding to you the way that you would want them to respond. They're looking at you. They're leaning forward. They're smiling. They're getting your jokes, okay? They're laughing in the right places, all that kind of stuff. They're just very interested. See exactly what you want to see. You go through the entire speech exactly the way you want to get through it. At the end, imagine a big round of applause. You can even imagine a standing ovation if you want to. We're not going to be in your minds. We're not going to know, okay? So if you want to, imagine a standing ovation, and then imagine you walk back to your seat and you sit down. I want you to practice this at least once. At least once. Ideally, 2 to 3 times before you get up to speak next time. At least the night before and the morning of would be most beneficial to you. A couple of times before you speak. You will be amazed. I am telling you, you will be absolutely amazed at your results. I was. The first time I did it, I thought, that's stupid. I'm not going to do that. And I tried it, and wow, the results, the difference it makes. Okay? So I want you to try this. Everybody, will you agree to try it before next time? You give it a shot. If you don't like it, you don't ever have to do it again. If it doesn't work for you, you don't ever have to do it again. But try it the first time. Just give it a shot and see what it does for you.